Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight on the DeCod3rs channel. Our guest is Max from Frens, and you know the project. They are animating all of the collection, all of your favorite collection on Solana and now ETH. So it's gonna be a good live. But before that, before we start the show, let me talk to you a little bit about DeCod3rs because we need you to subscribe to this channel. So basically, what we are doing here, it's pretty simple. For every video that you're watching on this channel, you will get rewarded for it. We are going to mint the thumbnail of the video, of every video, like we selected. And if we're gonna raffle them, and if you win the thumbnail, you will get the ownership of the video and get entitled to the portion of the revenue. By doing that, we are going to align financial incentive between content creators and you, the holders of like the DeCod3rs collection and Web3 in general. So the best thing you can do right now is to subscribe to the channel because it's going to be mandatory for upcoming mint, and follow us on Twitter, etc. But yeah, please mint this subscribe button. That's all I have to tell you about DeCod3rs right now. Let's welcome Max and talk about Frens. Hello, dear sir.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
How are you?
Oh my God, sorry, my dog's going crazy here.
Because they want to be famous too, man.
Pardon me?
They want to be famous.
Not for the right reasons.
Yeah. So how was your day, man? Like,
great.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Busy day in
Web3. Yeah, in the Web3 life.
You know how it is, I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. So like we talked like together like a year ago, I think, when I was working on Wastelanders and Animate like the whole collection for like what we planned to do at that time. So, man, I have so many questions about you. I want to know like everything about Frens, about what you have done since like basically last year, and what are going to be your plans to make Frens the top project on Solana, right?
Yeah, okay.
And even if. Bro, like, okay, we're gonna start with you. Like, tell me, like, who are you for the people like that coming from the DeCod3rs channel? Like, maybe the DeCod3rs community, maybe they don't know you. Shame on them, but yeah, can happen.
That's okay.
So yeah, who are you? What are you doing?
My name is Max Smith. That is my real last name. That sounds like a rugger's last name. I get that. Whenever I check into a hotel, I say Smith is my last name, and they don't believe me. So if you're skeptical, I understand. My background is in television pretty exclusively most of my life. I've been working there in every capacity possible, from props and wardrobe all the way up to writing and producing television specials and series, mostly in Canada, a little bit in the States.
Okay.
Also have some experience in the sort of tour promotion management side of things in terms of like live events, a little bit of that, a little bit of feature film distribution, a little bit of a whole bunch of things, really. Probably my only actual skill is problem solving, particularly
which is a good one.
Within the constraints of a budget. We don't typically have as much money to work with in Canadian productions as they do in other places, so we have to get creative in terms of problem solving, and so that's kind of been my background has set me up well for the problems of Web3, which are different all the time and constant and constantly evolving and always interesting, So a couple of years ago now. Was it a couple of years? It feels, whatever it was, it feels like a couple of years ago.
It was last week.
I was doing a lot of music videos for a couple of different record labels, and one of the executives at this one label he was really into NFTs on the ETH side, and he kept throwing weird requests my way. And instead of saying no, like I should have, I kept saying, yeah, I could probably figure out a way to do that. And so eventually he came to me and said, I've got this connection with this fine artist. Could you animate his fine art? And of course I said yes, even though I wasn't really sure about how to go about doing that at the time. And which is, there's a pattern there. And anyways, from there, my friend Jay and Jeff, who are now partners, core team members of Frens, got involved with this. It was sort of a marketing firm, really, that was set up to be on ETH. And the idea was that we would take on take on fine artists and rep them on ETH with collections that involved digital prints, but also animated versions. And also because I have like a background in documentary film and TV production. So they were like, you can produce, like a biographical documentary about these artists as well as a means of promoting the artists and gaining awareness and notoriety and FOMO, essentially. Yeah. And so we worked on that for a few months, and that was kind of going along fairly well. And we were being introduced to the whole Web3 ecosystem, and our minds were just blown constantly about all the things that were happening and how quickly everything was moving and how much money was in the space, and in many cases how primitive a lot of the things were, despite all of the resources, was kind of crazy to us. And actually the people that we were working with, we ended up leaving, and we ended up handing over all the work that we did over a few months span, and we never took a dime from them. We got a really bad vibe. They ended up never launching. Nothing ever happened. But that feeling you get sometimes, and you're just like, this is taking a dark turn. They were like, oh, should we incorporate it in the Caymans and do this and do, I don't know. It's just like, nah, they're talking about like trying to dodge taxes, and it's like, we don't want to do that, man. Like, we're an older team, and we got families and stuff. We're like, we're not here to play any games. Like, we just want to do some satisfying, interesting work, and we're not trying to make millions of dollars. As the woman that we were working with, she told us one day that she had done some projections, and she said, we're going to make $125 million in our first year. But based on what? Like,
well, no, but why not?
Why not is not how it works. Yeah. It's like, this is insane. We got to leave. And as turned off as we were of that whole process and working with those individuals, we had been introduced to the space, and we were just like, we need to do something, like we had a couple ideas for things, and we saw what was there, and how like young the space was, and how much room there was to grow, and how we could maybe have a small part to play in the growth of that. It was like super exciting to us, and we're like, let's try and get involved in some way. And we love the idea of Solana, because we thought in our minds that customization was probably like, it made no sense to us. Really, I understand more now the idea of like, you mint something and it's a bit of there's a chance that you might get a rare, and what I mean, like and that's kind of exciting. But the idea of like paying $3,000 for something that you don't love and can never change is like, that just, I don't know. It was weird to me. It still is. And so anyways, Solana really appealed to us, because we're like, if we're going to get into this where we can do something interesting, like even back then we were thinking about, releasing packs of traits and having them constantly updated, and looking at Fortnite sort of as a bit of a model of things, of like keeping art fresh all the time by keeping it moving. You always have options. Your PFP is ever evolving, like that kind of concept of things. And so we started down that route, And the only place to do that really was Solana, because of the gas fee situation.
Yeah.
It was just well suited for that. And so yeah, so we made pen friends there. And at the time too, like we were looking at what was going on in Solana and ETH too. And all these projects were launching and they're like fully animated. And they're like 3 pixels would change color slightly. Now that was fully animated. Like
it's pixel art, you know?
Yeah, if this is where the bar is, like I love this. We're in good shape.
Yeah, the bar was low like 1 year ago, right?
Very low. Yeah, so like, this is perfect. We love low bars. That's our that's where we thrive. So so that's how we got into the space.
Nice.
We kind of launched at a kind of an in-between time, I would say. Not like the bullish time and not the bear either, kind of in that weird in-between spot. And yeah, we've been grinding ever since.
Yeah. Oh, but you get some hype before pre-mint, right?
Oh, from DeCod3rs,
yeah.
Yeah, we did. We were having a really tough time getting anyone interested in even taking on whitelist because we were completely unknown. Not only were we unknown like as a team, but we hadn't really been involved in other projects. So you know how it is, like if you're a holder in a project, people know you a bit, and then you kind of have like a relationship with the community. We didn't have that, so we're really starting from zero. And I was reaching out all the time to communities, founders, and trying to connect with them. And it's just like they wanted nothing to do with it, you know, until we started to take PFPs of projects and animating them just like on our own. And then we would say, like, I would send those to the team and that would get their attention. And so like we made inroads that way. And we made inroads that way with the DeGods and boom. It was G2K. And then he was like, they ended up asking us to do some animations because it was DeGods, the Dead Gods at the time. They wanted some animations to show the transition. And so we did some for them, and we didn't charge them. And we said, we'll do these for you. All we ask, just give us a shout out. You know, that'd be cool. And then they gave us like a really nice one. They referred to us as legends. And then all of a sudden we went from this, like, you know, we were like, are we going to mint out? Are we not going to mint out? To like overrun, like getting botted and like thousands of people and like people DMing, like coming out of the woodwork. Also, we had run this. So we had so many things were a learning experience. And one of them was that we had done the whitelist weeks before mint, like really too far before, because you forget that you even have whitelist. You know what I mean? Like it kind of has to be in a small window. And so we had done it kind of too early. And so we had all these people that had never checked back into the Discord. They'd never submitted their wallet. They weren't going to get their token, but their whitelist spot was still taken, right? And so it was like, so we thought, okay, we'll have this interesting way of purging where it was shank for rank. So if you came into the Discord, you could actually use a shanking emote of stabbing someone that had whitelist to take their whitelist from them. And so this happened in a lot of cases. And some people would be like, hey, why did I get tagged? Oh my God, I lost my whitelist. What the fuck? And but a lot of people, they just didn't pay attention because they'd muted the server or whatever. They don't even remember they ever had whitelist. But then once that DeGod announcement came out, all these people came out of the woodwork. I forgot about this project. Where's my whitelist? Why did I get shanked? What the fuck? Upset. So that was like a wild kind of turn of events.
Momentum.
And then the funny thing too was like there were so many people that minted. We minted out immediately. And then for a while the Discord chat was just like, when DeGods, because they didn't say what was the nature of the partnership. And we didn't play it up because like that would have been disingenuous. We weren't like, hey guys, this is huge. You're not gonna believe what's coming. It's like 3 animations. You know what I mean? So it's like at the time, like there was discussion about maybe doing more, so we weren't sure like what exactly it even was going to be in the end. You know, like we ended up doing like a Discord sticker pack for them, but there was some talk about animating the entire collection. So we were just kind of like, we had to play it like we don't know because we didn't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
For
not saying
real.
like we don't want to oversell it. And then, but there's so many people that were like, we only minted because so when DeGods became such a meme in the Discord, and then like hilariously, like the DeGods were like, oh, we're just gonna wait until like Dead Gods week and then we'll post, and they just never they never posted.
Oh my god.
So like
God.
I guess they had asked a couple other people as well to do animation. In the end, they decided that
we never animated anything.
They know, so which is fine, but there were some very confused early.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They were looking for that DeGods pump. You know, they were just looking to dump. I mean, let's be honest. They So,
but
I mean, they
did,
but they didn't make what they had hoped to. So.
They flip it like 2x instead of 100.
Yeah, or maybe 0x. I don't know, but but that was such a weird time because that's we kind of learned really quickly sort of the dangers of having hype. You know, like a double-edged sword, really, where it's like it could put you in an uncomfortable position where you know, there's expectations there, and it's like, well, it's not in our hands. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially at that time when like everything was hype and like people were jumping from project to project, and like they forgot what happened like the week before on your server. But they come back and say, oh yeah, I deserve to get that free NFT too. Like, what the fuck? And like they're not really like active member of the community. So yeah, that was something. Definitely some common vibe with Westlanders too. Like post mint, pre-mint, like we got some good numbers, etc. But then after the mint, like it's a lot. It got done.
Yeah.
But that was definitely like an interesting time to launch an NFT project. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was stressful.
Yeah.
It was a stressful time. I started to understand like how people were getting burnt out and stuff. Like
100%.
Holy shit! What a roller coaster, you know.
That's basically what we can see in Web2 when like startup like have like hyper growth, right? And there's still like 3 guys in their garage, right? And like they're managing like 50,000 customers, 1 million users on the app, and they still have the servers in the mom's bedroom. So
yeah.
It's
in the TV world, like you're used to going really hardcore for like 6 months, but then you generally have like a few months of not necessarily nothing, but like a reduced, you know what I mean? So like you kind of cycle it. The problem here is like you get into these like really super long days and no days off, and like, but there's no break coming. It's not like you know what I mean? It's not like people are like, oh yeah, okay, but we understand that you're not going to do much between September and November. It's like, no, the expectation is, what are you doing right now?
Like you need 3 months to build, but they ask you every week what the fuck happened.
Yeah, and I will say like that was the case initially.
Yeah,
because where they were just like, oh, when Netflix, like what, like when are we gonna get when's the $25 million? When are we worldwide? You know, when can I retire off my one soul mint? Like, and like, I
mean, what are you doing? Can Dev do something?
and I will say that like we very quickly moved from those types of holders to the ones we've had ever since, which is they're amazing, and like they're chill, and they're like, we were pretty honest with those people and said, if you are looking for a quick flip, or you want to make money quick, just dump it. Like just like there isn't like sudden news coming that's going to take us from A to B, and then you can That's
Yeah.
not it. It's like, if you want to be here and be a part of something that's going to like slowly build, and you know, we don't want to move like this. Like, we want to move like
Yeah.
this. You know,
But
so we just
that's why that's when you meant your like community, right? Like you just like clean like the one that's not matching your culture, and then like everyone that stay are like the good boys.
yeah. Hey, look, no disrespect to
Yeah, no,
to
100%.
those
Like we
people at
are
all. Like, it's just
honest.
like,
Yeah,
it's not a fit. You know, so
yeah, no, 100%. Like what was the crap taxidermy book, man?
it was it's a great book. It's got some terrifying imagery in there. Do not read that book before bed. It is a yeah.
Just know what's up.
It's just the worst taxidermy imaginable. It's
Okay.
a little bit cartoony, but yeah, recommend.
Yeah, to all of the kids out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, so what did you do since then until today? Tell me everything. Tell me 1 year of
Oh wow!
execution.
Oh, in real time.
Yeah, minutes by minutes.
Okay, well, I could do that. Okay, so yeah, so after we minted, we took 3 months off. No, I'm just kidding. We
Alpha.
we started to we very, very, very quickly realized that we needed to be doing something more immediate, because our initial plan was, we're raising mint funds, and then we're going to develop a television series, and we're going to, you know, we're going to pitch it and see if we can get some interest, which is like, that's our background. That's what we've been selling show ideas for years. And the way that the tax credit system is in Canada is like, if you can come up with $1 million, the government will turn it into 2.6. So you can very quickly raise funds if you get to that initial threshold. So that was the premise, really, is like, if you can get to 40% of where you need to be through an NFT capital raise, the tax credits will take you to where you need to be to really get things moving. But if you don't get to that number, then you know, it's tough. And also, so, you know, for us to mint at 22 one sold, like, we're nowhere near that number. So the only way to get there is to have other investors involved. In order to do that, we have to have materials, and it's a slow process, right, to like write scripts and make a character bible and all these things. Meanwhile, you got holders saying, what's happening?
Script.
And it's like,
when script.
And you've got literally the slowest moving business in the world, which is TV, right? And then you've got the fastest moving ecosystem in the world. It's not a good fit. And that's
it makes sense.
It's bad. Like, I see people, like, they're ripping on like Bubble Goose, for example, and it's like, yeah, this is just like the way it is. Like, they're not a good fit. And so for us, we're like, we didn't want to spend the next 2 years explaining to people things just move slow. Like, we have to say that every day. You know what I mean? Like, and people get fed up with that. So like, we need to have something that's more immediate. And so we started to do what had gotten us to the point of minting out, which was animating for individuals and projects, and sort of like weaponizing that skill that we had. And then we started to do that a little bit. And then we got a little bit lucky, I would say, because the Stoned Ape crew, we're in the process of animating the Nuked Apes, and their motion designer, like, it's too much. Like, there's 4,200 of them. Like, for any one person to do it is just, it's not doable.
But we don't sleep, so it's fine.
No. So he was like, he was 8 days from his deadline, and he just was like, I'm out. And he said, like,
okay,
whatever, but he's just like, he's fed up and he's done. And actually was, yeah, so they called us in a panic, more or less, saying like, can you help us pull this together? Because you know, when you tell your community something and
Yeah.
if they start to sense that you're not going to deliver it, like the FUD is real, right? And it's super
No,
dangerous and
100%.
it can snowball quickly. So they were concerned about that. And the timing was crazy tight. And we had never animated another collection other than our own. But our own, like, we took 6 months to do it, you know.
And you had 8 days.
And we had 8 days. So and the nuke apes are insane. Like, it's like there's way easier collections art-wise to animate than the nukes. And so anyways, that felt like minting all over again, like all the stress of, which is like a little bit exciting, but also just like at times soul crushing. And yeah, it's like a roller. Anyways, we came out of that and it was by no means perfect. And we probably spent, like, they launched on time, but we probably spent 2 or 3 weeks just cleaning up, like, you know, errors here and there that happened that just couldn't be helped. But anyways, from that, we had developed a relationship with Stoned Ape Crew, and then we went on to animate the Stoned Apes. And then I don't think a lot of people necessarily knew that it was us that did that, but there was enough of that out there that then we went on to animate the Trippin' Apes as well, all 10K of them. And then around that time, well, this really moved into sort of the Stoned Apes and the Nuked Apes happened just ahead of the bear market kicking in. And once that did, like, we had so many collections lined up that wanted to fully animate their entire collection, and then things went south, and then there was a lot of we're gonna have to wait on that, you know.
But wait, like, you do you need to animate all of the pieces manually?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
All of the traits, yes.
Okay.
But no, part of our project for Pen Friends was like developing this art engine where we could animate individual traits and then generatively create animated versions of the collection. You still have that
tool is valuable already by itself.
It is, yeah, it is. And as much as that speed things up, which it really does, there's still like quality control side of it. You still have to watch them all. And in some cases, like a 5-second animation of 10,000 piece collection, like that's 50,000. I don't know what that. It's a lot of hours, you know. If you watch that in a row. So, anyways, around that time, we went from having so many clients lined up, all these collections wanted to animate everything because everyone had money and everything was great, and it was a happy place.
And all the money coming into your pockets, man. That's so nice.
Well, yeah, we got excited. We were like, holy shit. We're like,
let's go.
We do more? Like, how can we do 2 a month? How can we do 4 a month? How can we do 10 a month? You know? And then all of a sudden it was, does anyone still want to do this? Like, is there anyone out there? And so kind of we ended up having a gap there, and we ended up working a bit on a secondary collection, which is called Camp Solana, which was like a gamified lottery. It was a special event collection. It was only meant to last a short time, and it ended up running in October for 3 weeks, and it's a 10K. And the idea was that there's 10,000 campers on an island. There's a killer, and he's killing his way across. And you could move your camper around. You could equip them with items, and there was customization, and your animation updated if you got killed. All of a sudden, your head was on a stake and it was all bloody and stuff. Like, there's a lot of neat things that were a part of that. And so we concentrated on that for a little while. And also, we thought, it'd be a lot better if we could just animate projects on our own and not have to rely on the project prepaying for it.
Okay.
If they couldn't.
Yeah, like you did with DeCod, right?
Pardon me?
Basically. Like what you did with DeCod, like you take one DeCod and then they notice you, and then that create more demands, right?
Yeah, but I mean to like we animated all of some projects
Oh, okay.
like on spec. I mean, in the first one I think that we started on was OK Bears, where the team came to us and they said, would you consider animating these? But they weren't paying for them, you know. So it was on us to do the work, and then we would sell them to the holders directly.
Ah, okay.
So it was like just a way of like, okay, so it's sort of in like the team is kind of involved, but not really. And we thought this made sense because it was like, okay, we're not asking the projects to be out of pocket at all. We know we're not going to sell like with SAC or with Trippin' Apes, like we did all 10K Trippin' Apes. It's like we did all 10,000 of them. We don't have to worry about how many people actually go out and go through the process to awaken them, right? Like that's not our
yeah, it's not your problem,
right? Like we're out of it at that point.
Yeah.
We did it for OK Bears, we did it for ABC, we did all 10K OK Bears, we did all 10K ABCs, and we did all 66 Jelly Rascals.
Nice. Yeah.
And we put together this marketplace because as part of what we were finding as the year went on as pen friends, appreciate that.
Yeah.
What we found as the year was going on with pen friends was that sometimes projects were reaching out to us from other chains, but I think they dismissed us a little bit because we're Solana collection, which is like you always viewed through that lens. So it became, and we wanted a way to like promote our services without promoting our collection, because always promoting your collection always just feels like you're just trying to pump your bags, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And it gets dismissed, right? You kind of tune that out. It's like, oh, shill, because they want to raise floor price. And it's like, no, we actually just wanted to get more clients for the animation services. So a few months ago, we decided, okay, as part of this thing where we're animating OK Bears and the Rascals and the ABCs, like let's have an animated marketplace, a place where you can go and purchase, in some cases token gated, in some cases not, depending on the project. Like Rascals, for example, they have custodial staking. You can't token gate the purchase because people don't have them in their wallet. Yeah. So the wallet check does you no good. So gated. And so we anyways, we put together this marketplace, and we did all this work, and we animated all these collections, and in the end, like it has not been successful. Like it was, the marketplace is awesome, but we have not sold as many as we would have hoped to. And I think that's been like a huge learning experience for us, because it's like, well, why didn't it? And I think that one of the big things that's come back is like, people need to trust you because you're a third-party site, you're an unknown marketplace, and you're asking people to connect their wallet. In some cases, like the Bears, for example, they were token gated, so you have to connect your wallet, like you have to, which is exactly what the team makes a habit of telling holders never to do, which is never connect a third-party site with your wallet that holds your bear. And that's exactly what we were asking them to do. And so we looked at that and we're like, okay, we got to make some changes. We need to develop trust, which takes time. We need more awareness, which takes time.
But you were here last year, and they didn't. You were here last year, right? So you're here to stay. So like people knows you, like they know Pens Friends, right? Like, and they know you're not going to rug right now, because you would have rug like last year, basically.
I know,
right?
I keep trying to, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's a few things that came out of that: the need for trust, the need for awareness, and also I think that the idea of just moving from static to animated is not enough, because you kind of flex it once and then you're kind of done with it. right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
you can't use it on Twitter because it's not animated, and Discord, like maybe it's too small, like being like the value proposition, maybe it's a bit like that, not crazy high,
no, I
but
mean
it's a luxury, right?
we do give like a pretty decent res MP4 for
Yeah.
Twitter, and then there's a
Okay.
smaller GIF that's meant for Discord Nitro, but
Mm-hmm.
but really it's like you post it once, you're not
Yeah.
going to post it twice a week, you know?
Hey, look, my animated. Hey,
Yeah,
look.
it's like,
Hey,
yeah, we
look.
saw it already. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, yeah. So I think what we took away from that was, you know, as opposed to why didn't they buy it? Oh, what they're idiots.
GM.
No, maybe we need to improve what we're offering. So that's why now we're focusing on like sticker packs. So
Okay.
having things that have like a daily utility, GM, GN, LFG,
Mm-hmm.
like those types of animations that are individualized to your NFT, that you'd have this package of animations and you just use them. But to expand on the marketplace idea, and that's where we've had some conversations about, you know, maybe our animated marketplace is best suited as something that's integrated into an existing marketplace like Magic Eden or Hyperspace.
Okay.
Another one where it's like a point of sale thing. So you buy
That's
a
cool.
DeCod3rs,
Yeah.
and when you buy it, you're prompted with, it's like an add-on purchase on Amazon, right? So it's like,
That's cool.
here's this package that you get.
Yeah.
It's all these animations that are unique, because that was with animation commissions, everyone always has the same complaints, which is they take too long and they're too expensive. So that was like our idea for the marketplace was, we're going to pre-animate the entire collection. We're not going to make it public until it's done. So then when you go to it and you connect to 42 Hamsters, you pay $10. The ABCs are cheaper, but generally it's between $2 and $10 for an animation. So it's way cheaper than a commission.
Yeah.
And you get it immediately, right? And
Yeah.
you get a few different file formats, and it's just better. You know, the complaints that you would have about a commission are but anyways, I think that I think it's something worth exploring is integration into a larger market, because
That's interesting.
you could really hit a lot of people, right? And then the trust and awareness problem is out the door, because we're folded into this thing.
Is there no business model like to put like the like the software that you have developed to generate the animation? I know that you said like you need to review everything and like to edit the files, etc. But like if you keep like performing it, and because you could do it at scale, right? If you are able to have a software that works like 90% of the time, you know what I mean? Like a collection that's going to mean tomorrow, because you're gonna mean them like you're gonna animate them on the fly, then you can offer like instantaneously, and at basic, and your job is done, or like the week after you animate, like you fix what needs to be fixed and job done. There is no business model with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I you know, when we launched Camp Solana in the fall, we had a trait swapping customizer. I think it was before anyone else did on Solana. We were obviously more unknown than the others, but we did have it. And one of the cool things about it was when you made the changes to, because they were all animated, when you made the changes to the traits and you saved your customization session, those changes they triggered the animation to be re-rendered with the new ones, and within 90 seconds you had on chain, the metadata was updated and your animation visually was updated based on your, and then if you did it again in the next minute, it would do it again. And we did it all for it. It had to have the basic transaction fee, whatever that is, 0.001 or whatever, but it was effectively free. That tech was pretty neat. And yes, there are projects that have approached us about doing that, and I think in the next couple of months here we'll have unveiled one that uses it. But it really has the most there are competitors out there now that are doing it, but we have a version that's completely that works completely with animated traits seamlessly, where they preview playing and you can change traits and the animation continues to play. So
Nice.
I don't think that exists right now. So we're working on that and hoping to unveil that very soon within the context of Pen Frens and Camp and very possibly another project on Solana that's not ours.
That's cool. But like that's pretty cool. That's your roadmap for this year, basically, or like just for the next couple of months.
Well, no, I mean, it's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we have we will be animating more collections this year, both through the marketplace and prepaids. And unfortunately, a lot of the time we work under NDA. Because projects are handing over their art. It's typically to protect the art, but it ends up sort of covering the partnership as well.
Yeah. So you can hype your community based on this NDA, basically.
And it sounds like bullshit too when you say it a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Oh, we're doing some stuff, but it's under NDA. It's like, yeah, you are. No, you're not.
Yeah, you say that every week, bro.
Yeah.
You're signing more NDAs than New York.
Yeah. So it becomes a bit of a meme. I get that totally. But we do have a couple going, and one in particular I think is I'm so excited. And I think regardless of what happens with our involvement in this one project that's coming, the fact that it exists is just like a hugely positive thing for everybody in NFTs, period.
That's
it's
cool.
That level of big.
But that's what I say. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you have like a tech that can be used at scale by every NFT project cross chains, right?
Yeah,
that's valuable. Like, love it.
Yeah, no,
and you have your reputation of like animators. Like again, like 1 year of experience. But like, how long have you been in an animation? Like your whole life, right?
I mean, TV, animations.
Yeah,
I don't know, like 2000 probably. So yeah, 20.
Exactly. So, like all of that pieces all put together, you have like a founder fit with what you are executing and like doing with like the market that you want to serve. You can you just like you need marketing that can brand you and sell you and that's it. You go to the moon.
There's a really interesting pipeline that's coming too that I did not foresee, and it's coming for all IPs that are in NFTs.
But NDA,
it's gonna. I'm not saying it like that. It's gonna pump Pen Frens. I'm talking about the entire space.
Nice. Okay.
Huge positive for the entire space for every IP in NFTs.
Nice.
Big positive. Period. Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm still gonna buy a couple of Pen Frens though.
No, not financial advice, but
that's okay. It's not recorded. Don't worry. Like no one sees this video. Don't worry.
Shit.
It's just on Twitter and YouTube. Don't worry. It's just the family here. No, it's great. But I mean, like you're 100% into something that's really, really cool, right? And again, like it's also a sustainable business because like you have been doing it for a year and you're still here and you can pay your bills, etc. So it works, right? So it's good. Plus you have your team, right? You're not alone, so it makes sense. It works.
I think it would have been like if our first year was all bull, then you know what I mean? It would be like we'd be like, oh, it's just always going to be like this.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of great that the way that it worked out, and our thought process too through the summer was like, if we can make it when the conditions are like this, then we're good. You know?
Yeah,
this is
No, 100%. Like that's exactly my thesis for Decoders too. Like launching like a new project, a new YouTube channel talking about crypto at the bottom of Solana at $8. Like if I can survive for 2 years, and like we're gonna be good. If we can
Yeah, and
keep
also all the people will remember that you were here.
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So
Yeah, no, exactly.
value
So
to it.
yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, like but even like pen friends, like if you keep animated every NFT project on ETH, on Solana, on Aptos, on whatever, on
Yeah.
Polygon.
Yeah, no, we'll animate a birthday card for your cat. We're down for anything.
But that's good. Like man, but that means like because I know like animation, like with like Westlanders, we were talking about that, and like the budget to animate like one, it was more like 10 seconds was like $1,000 or something like that. I don't, but like it was crazy numbers. And if you have a solution to do that at scale, it's like the whole industry can benefit from it, right?
Yeah, and we've gotten better at that because initially, we were like, what can we, how, what's our number on a per piece, because that's really what it always came down to, was price. Everybody wanted it. It was always just about price and what projects could afford it. And initially we started out at $10 per piece.
Okay.
And then over time, just by streamlining what we do and finding ways to make it faster, but at the same time, I think better. I think that if you objectively look at what we're doing now compared to 6 months ago, you'd say, oh, it's improving, rather than we're cutting corners to cut costs and it's shittier. I think we're kind of going the other way on the quality and trying to get that cost down. And now, like, typically we quote around $5 and sometimes even less on a per piece.
That's good.
basis. Until something else changes that's significant, I don't know how we can get much cheaper than that. But really, like in the scheme of things, it's not that much.
Yeah, and like the progress that we can see in AI, like with Midjourney, etc., can that kind of tool can help you in like animate like faster, or like is there any, or is that too soon yet?
I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. Right now, no. But I think there are some interesting ways that AI and art, NFTs interact, but I don't right now. I don't see them helping our process because it's too specific what we do.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
it's like it's a bit obscure. Even like some of the software that we use and stuff is like not it's not widely adopted. So I don't see that AI can play a part in that. But Pen Friends started. It's called Pen Friends because of the idea of pen pals, of writing to someone in prison and establishing like a relationship of like sending text messages. Really is what we wanted to do. Text messages back and forth, like a chat bot, but somebody that's a cartoon character in jail. And that was the original idea behind the project. And the problem was that we're not, AI people. So we were like, it's probably kind of shit to, mint a project and then figure out how to actually do it after the mint. That's probably backwards.
Bro, every project does that. Every project does that.
I know what happens. It's like,
we paid $2 million. What are we going to do with that?
I feel a bit weird about that. So in the end, we decided to stick to what we actually knew how to do, which was animate. But I do still want to get back to that at some point. I think it's cool, the idea of your NFT being a friend, and having your most interesting friend that you have, person that is surreal and lives in another universe, and you could have the most bizarre conversations, kind of like, I have a daughter like that. She's just like, I'm not sure she's from this planet, and the conversations that we have are ridiculous. And it's like, that's fun, like to get a text message from, you know, your dude who's asking you a question while he's in his cell, I think is like a whole other level of immersion that we haven't seen in NFTs. And so yeah, I constantly have a mind towards that, and also to the idea of NFTs as sort of like a gateway to AI, in terms of like Google Assistant, for example. You know, like imagine instead of conversing with Google Assistant, you're conversing with Torch Fuentes, your pen friend, you know, and you say, hey, Torch, what's the weather today? And then his, you know, because most of them are visual now, and your NFT pops up, but he has all the mouth positions, so he can speak in an animated way. He's got his hands, and he can tell you it's fucking cold out there, bro. You know, and, so you can have a bit of personality to those kinds of things, ask questions, and it's like you have this sort of relationship that's your portal to the web. It's via this friendship. I think is kind of a neat idea, so we're exploring that too.
That's good. And like that's kind of what you have done, like in a way, like you have animated on your YouTube channel, like when you have produced like your shorts and like your video, like your small episode, it's part of it too, right? Like, and well, like what's the status with, like, are you still doing it? Are you still producing those animation? Or are you going to do more? Like
doing that. I'd love to get back to doing that. The problem with that was, and we stopped doing that. Once we got really busy with doing animation, we just didn't have time for it.
Yeah, of course.
To do 2 minutes of animation weekly is tough, but it was really fun and people liked it. And if you don't know what it is, it's for those of you that are listening. They were fake confessions from the inmates. So holders are writing like a backstory about how their inmate ended up in jail, and they're pretty funny, and they were typically voiced by the holder as well. So we would get a voice recording of these confessions and then turn them into a fun little animation. We did it weekly for a couple of months. And I'd love to have the time and the freedom to get back to that, but you know, we got to keep the lights on. So the priority has been for us in the last like 6-8 months, like paid work. And if we ever get comfortable again, which I hope is in this next kind of 2-3 month stretch, then we can get back to doing some really fun stuff like that. Because that's where we come from, and that's the funnest things to us, is doing that kind of like fun storytelling.
That's cool. And like that's also like my thesis again for decoders. Like for every video that we're gonna publish on the channel, that's like an attention call for the community to check, hey, we are live, we're producing content, etc. And for you, like having like all of this episode on a weekly, daily, or every 2-3 days, that's same for you, right? Like, and even if it's funny, right? Especially if it's funny, because like it's like that's what people are consuming right now, right? Like those shorts, you can put that on TikTok, and like people are gonna follow you and like increase the brand, etc., and the awareness. So that's pretty good. But yeah, obviously, like you need like one guy doing that full time, and you still need to get some bills to be paid, right? So and those shows can generate views, but like that doesn't pay your rent.
I'm curious to see what happens now that YouTube Shorts are monetized, and now that like the Twitter monetization of content, and I don't really know what that looks like yet. It's too new. But I'd love it if like daily short content was rewarding financially. To be a dream.
Man, you can make like do you know the VTubers, like the avatars that YouTube, and then we can make like a pen friends decoders content creators from the sales. Oh, that would be so nice.
We've done some of that stuff where we made puppets. We made the puppets for like the DeCod3rs cast, if you ever saw that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was you. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
We made like special triggers, so they did like the shoey and stuff like that.
Oh, that was you. Okay. See, you are everywhere, man.
I know. We kind of just like quietly.
Yeah, but you need to make some noise. That's why we are doing this podcast.
I know. Probably. Yeah,
it's okay. I'm joking.
No, you're probably right.
But that's good. That's good. No, but there's so many things to do. And I know, like the days are like only 24 hours and we're only spending 20 hours walking and all stuff. And we still need to sleep somehow long term, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of projects have sort of like a PR person.
Yeah,
a lot of founders are actually really PR people, right? And they're they're front facing. Like, I'm kind of like really in the nuts and bolts of actually like day-to-day work. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine. I probably tweeted 40 times ever, let alone in a day. So
but see, you're here now tonight. It's good.
Man, I know, but it's rare.
Thank you so much. And that's why this podcast has even more values, because it's rare. It's a rare podcast to have you out there.
Does that mean because it gets minted, right? Or no, it gets
okay. So like all of the guests on the podcast, I will mint the thumbnail and I will give it to you. So like all of the revenue, then the like view generated from that podcast will get back to you. But I will do a recap of this podcast, but for the community, and this one will be minted for someone in the community. So basically, we have the live, the recap, and a couple of shorts to get traction. So that's what basically I do with the stream. And again, we're gonna share revenue. It's gonna be zero. Sorry, the channel is not monetized.
I appreciate your honesty.
But we're gonna share. Like the concept is to share the revenue with the guests for the live, and having the recap for the community, and also I'm working on sponsor shows. So yeah, you basically just before the sponsorship shows. Life. But that's the idea. Like again, the channel is not monetized. We bring like partners here, like a collection or like a mobile app alpha, kind of like a mobile app that sponsors the show, and we share with the guest, and the recap, same thing, it's sponsor. We share the sponsorship with like the community, and then that's how we do a rev share with like all those.
Very cool.
That's how it's gonna work. So yeah, like if we do an episode 2 in like a couple of weeks, there is a chance that I will have like a banner at the bottom of the screen, sponsored by XYZ, and then I can pay you back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll wait for the check.
Yes, that's the plan. Send me your wallet, man.
Yeah, okay. I'll plan my retirement.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, just like two or three shows per person, and then I retire. The goal is to retire all of my guests, man. But yeah, no, man, like that's cool. And see, it's already 1 hour, and we have done like 3 questions.
That's my fault.
But no, that's good, man. I love the like people like you. Like I don't need to talk. It's easy. Make the job easier, man. And but honestly, like I love the story of like Frens, because again, like it's like people working on the project, like executing for the community and for themselves too, like it and build a sustainable business. It's perfect. I love the story, man. It's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. It's been really fun.
No, 100%. I can imagine. I mean, like you can spend like your whole day again and again, and like not enjoying what you're doing and doing for that long, right? Like it will be madness.
I never wake up in the morning and dread what I have to do.
Yeah.
No.
And it was heaven hard for me to realize that, because I'm like I do exactly what I love at work, and like since the beginning, since I finished my master degree, and so I love my job since forever. And this feeling, this state, it's really, really rare. Like there's a lot of people who don't like what they're doing. They go to work every day, and to realize that, it's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't always last. Like I've had
Yeah,
this feeling before. And sometimes you need to mix it up a bit, but it's not forever. But I think that this space just changes so much constantly that it's impossible to get bored or complacent or any of those problems that you would run into in another field of work. Like it's just
and it's been only 1 year, man. Like it's not that long.
No, I know.
It's like
I'm actually only 22 years old. It just this happened from Web3. It's crazy.
Yeah, welcome to crypto. It's and like it's the same feeling for everyone in the industry. Like like you go for a weekend, like I don't know, like offline, you have missed the next project that's gonna moon in the next 6 months. You have missed like the meme coin that was like 20K in your wallet, and now it's worth $2. And you have missed like the next crypto influencer that pump and dump like the collection of last week.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You missed Solana Hills getting derugged and going from 0 to 8 sold. Like, anything can happen in any given week. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's so funny. That's why, like, honestly, like, Web3 and NFTs will be like for the. I'm 30 years old, but like I'm gonna work in this industry for the next until the end. I'm never gonna stop.
Yeah, until Web.
So much fun. Yeah, Web 4, Web 5. It's gonna be like 4G, 5G, man. Like, that's good. So, like, so we have talked about like a lot of things. And so, what are you building? What's the plan for this year, like for PenFriend? So, you're going to, like you said, that you're going to work with like more collection, more partnership, and improve your tools and stuff like that. Right?
Yeah, I think more with these projects in 2023. No disrespect to Solana. I mean, that's our home. We're not going anywhere, but we have to go where the work is, and we can, for us, the only change will be probably some changes we're making currently to our marketplace, which is like ETH wallet integration, and we want to, it's done now. It's just not live, but to have SPL token, set up SPL token payments for things like, having the flexibility to pay for a Rascals animation with Jelly is nice. And if we do the DeCod3rs at some point, Dust obviously, and the Utes.
When
DeCod3rs, yeah, we have to finally answer that at some point. So I think further developing our marketplace.
That's cool.
With those things, also credit card payment, just make it a proper marketplace. And I think every time we add a collection to it, it gets a little bit more legit. You go there and you're like, oh man, you can get. And also some of those ones, because you kind of have like a short window when you launch them, you only have like a few days where anybody gives a shit. Like where it's in the news cycle of CT for a little bit, and then you're kind of out. You can kind of bring it back later, but you're not going to capture that same enthusiasm. So, by constantly, pardon me,
until the next announcement.
Until the next announcement, yeah. Or in our case, I think until the next collection, and then you get a new round of people going there. And I mean, it's the reality that if in most Discords you go to, there's always people that from other, right? Like the community is actually not that huge, really.
Yeah.
In the end, there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
A lot of people that hold DeCod's hold bears or hold ABCs,
Mhm.
or you know what I mean. So like, so if you end up going there for one reason in particular, and then while you're there, you're like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, I could also
No,
pick up
100%.
X, Y, and Z. So I think over time that will have some benefit, but you know, our focus is always going to be on prepaid full collections, working directly with the teams, giving them exactly what they want. They can, in a lot of cases, they'll post sneaks to their community and they get feedback and they give it to us, and then we kind of like make this thing together. That's the better way to do it.
Yeah.
We can do it on our own, but it's riskier, and we've seen that it doesn't always necessarily pay off. So I'm not too keen on doing that. Another thing too that we're seeing a lot more of, which was a really hard sell in 2022, and sometimes people say, you know, is it bad for you? Do you not like to see when there's other animators or animation in the space? It's like, we love it. Like we want it to be normalized. Like like there's a lot of people out there that do one-of-ones, and that's great. That's not really a business we really want to be in. It's not worth it. Like the amount that people are willing to pay for one animation, it's not like we lose money on everyone in terms of time. Like our time is better spent doing something else, because it's just not, they take too long for what they pay. You know what I mean? So it's like, so there's other people doing out there. That's great. The more animation that's out there, the better. Let's normalize it. Now we're starting to see in this past year, you know, we've been approached to do a bunch of different, you know, narrative pieces or hype videos, stuff like that. And we did a bunch of them, but we always wanted to do like a proper, like high-end animated, and nobody wants to spend the money on that. In particular because no one else is doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if no one else is doing it, I don't want to do it. Then Doodles 2 trailer came out, you know, then everyone's like, hey, we want to do, can you do Doodles 2 trailer? I was like, sure, but you're not going to like the price, you know? You're looking at 80 to 100K for that trailer. Easy.
Fuck.
Doodles liked that trailer so much they bought the company that made it. So, and now what we're seeing in the last like month or so is like the Bastards came out with their trailer, and people are like, whoa, you got like instant buzz because you did a properly animated. You see the power of like a animation with
well done.
budget, right? You make a big
100%.
splash, and so now everyone wants that. And Mutual Friends, same kind of thing, right? Where they're doing like good quality stuff. I love that. I welcome that. I want more of it. There's plenty of room at the table, and I'd be less enthused if it was just like Fiverr stuff. You know what I mean? There's just more and more kind of like shitty, cheap, like halfway animated garbage. Not to say that there isn't talented people on Fiverr. There absolutely are, but I love this change that's happening where you're seeing more on Solana, because you've seen it for a while on ETH, but on Solana in particular, seeing more things like the Rascals and Mutual Friends. It's like everyone's paying attention to that stuff when it drops, and they get huge engagement. It's like, because it has production value, and that's key, because there's like certain things you can do, you can put out there as a marketing material, and it actually hurts you because it's shit, you know? It's like you would have been better off doing nothing. Because now the association's been made between you and garbage, and that's tough to shake. So
and like with the hype that you get, like your project is it's flying, but then once the announcement drop or the execution is shit, then everyone is flooring because like the hype is gone, and they need to wait another 3 months to go back on the hype train, right? So it's there is no like a way like to make mistake too much. Like there's you can crush your project because you have bad animations if like the whole project depends on that. Because honestly, like
Any
it's
bad
crazy.
materials, really.
Yeah.
I mean, like the bastards, like if they put out anything that's not up to the quality that they made their splash with, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
Like they probably could have minted out from the trailer. That's the reality, right? If you make something that makes everyone excited, they'll just mint it.
Yeah.
Period. Like it almost doesn't matter what else is going on. So I think there's, with more of a focus on high quality content that has a bit of story to it and stuff. That's like, I love that, and I hope that we end up doing a lot. We are going to be doing some of that here in the next 2 months, and we owe that to those projects coming into the space, normalizing it a little bit, and now we're getting an opportunity to do some of that, and I'd love to do more because that's really fun work.
That's great, man. It's really great. Okay, I'm going back a bit in the comments section, like to get some questions. How much rev share in total have you been given to holders?
Oh, that's a good question.
It's Frosty. It's normal. It's Frosty.
Frosty busting my balls. I think it's 1,800 souls, somewhere in there.
Nice.
It's not crazy. I think it would be really nice to get it to coming up to the 1 year, just to at least get it to 100% ROI. You know what I mean? We're kind of like maybe 73%, 75%, somewhere in there. Not counting like some free mints and stuff and some things like that, which I don't think we should count anyways. But like just symbolically, I think, to say, hey, if you minted this project, you received your mint back within the first year, and any unrealized gains of floor price, cool, but that doesn't really count for anything unless you sell. You know what I mean? So it's like, at least it's like, this was an investment. If you made it, you got it back in the first year. In the real world, you take that every day of the week, really, right? So I know that's like in the in the spectrum of this world in which we are, that's at the low end. But I don't know. I'm not too fussed about that because I think that we're looking at it differently. We're a different kind of project. Like I say, we're trying to move on this trajectory. Where's my hand? There it is. Yeah, more like that. None of the candle shit.
But that's good because it makes a business sustainable long term. It's a nice approach. It's a nice approach. Yeah, that's good.
And I think there's like, as a holder, it's more about like shaping things than it is necessarily about like being in for a month and 2-3xing and fucking off. It's about like sticking around and playing a part in shaping it. Yeah.
And do you want to ship like a Frens Animate and meme maker tool?
That would be pretty cool. I've thought about that. Kind of like oh fuck, was that the jib jab? There's like that's I thought about that. Yeah, it was like you put your face in and like you could do that with an NFT.
That's cool.
Yeah, if there was a way to automate it.
Yes, we
say. But I think the sticker packs, like if you had a certain community, right, and you were like, these are the ones that I would use on a daily basis. These are the memes I use on a daily basis, right? It's like or a semi-daily basis. These are the things I use the most. And if it was, like that bearded dude who does the look, the nod and the look from the river, you know the dude I'm talking about, that meme where he like looks, he's like approvingly, that guy. Like if you had that as your NFT, that'd be awesome. You'd use that all the time. People know what that guy's like. And I think any of those ones like that, individualized your NFT, could be cool. The idea of like having a tool where you just plug it in and you get it out, that's neat. But that's a whole other
something else.
Don't get me thinking about that, because then like I
mean, it makes noise, right?
Get distracted easily.
What is the next big milestone for Frens? I mean, you already talk about that with the roadmap, but what are you excited the most about?
I'm excited to see what happens here in the spring with the first ETH collection, fully animated ETH collection, and what that means for us and for our client base, I think, and also just our opportunities. And also, I would say that, but I think that's in a little bit of it's kind of a distant second to something that we're working on. Yes, blah blah blah, NDA, blah blah blah.
It's coming.
Which is pretty cool. And
NDA Alpha.
I hate myself for even uttering those words, but yeah, we're pretty pumped about this thing that's coming, and I don't even know exactly all the details yet, but it's not that far away. We're talking like April. So
nice. And you're gonna figure it out anyway, because you are a problem solver.
Yes, and also a problem maker, unfortunately.
Exactly.
I think maybe I only solve my own problems.
Okay, this one is good. When DeCod?
Oh yes,
bro.
Thank you. Yes. Hello, David. Yes, thank you. A solid year of asking that question. In this case, at least I know this person, and I know that he's joking. I hope.
Yeah.
And
maybe
riling me up.
Sorry.
But you know what? Yes. Still, it's for a question. Yeah. I don't know. Talk to Frank.
Nice.
You can call me.
That's
I'm
hard.
available.
That's hard.
Yeah, we would be happy to
animate
because we're sort of like animating them one at a time right now, which is like not the right way to do it. We've done, oh man, maybe 30 to this point, maybe 40, and at some point we're gonna have animated all the traits, and we should just do them all. But
let's go.
It's right now, yes, it's a very slow road to animating 10K one at a time, one every couple of weeks.
I can imagine.
When do you guys? What does that work out to be? So 10K, 25 a year. Yeah, I don't know. A few centuries from now, we should wrap that up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's the timeline of crypto for sure. Okay, so yeah, I think we can like wrap it up the show. Like, I have two questions for you, like to conclude like the cast, which is like a great show, man. Like you're an amazing guest. I love it so much. We need to do an episode 2 when you will have animated all DeCod3rs.
Okay, deal. I'm in.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like just animate mine. Like just animate my DeCod, please. I just have 50. 50 is fine. Thank
50,
you.
Yeah, I bet you would have quite a spread.
I mean, like it's a lot of flow, so probably some like a replicate thread, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a stack big enough to make you make you work for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Okay, so like a question for you. What's the question you wish people would ask you, but they never do?
Oh, well, I probably, if there was a question that I wish they would ask me, I'd probably just answer it. I do these like really long-winded announcement videos. I've been doing them since the mint, and they're so long and boring and exhaustive and exhausting.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure anyone's ever watched a whole one, but I keep putting them out there, and I definitely answer questions that no one asks. So if there's anything I ever thought of that someone might want to know, I probably said it.
So you reply to question people never ask in the videos that people never watch?
Yes, you got it.
Cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're talking about like the animated video, like the 20 minutes video animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's how we deliver our announcements. It's like in the most boring way. We're like, how can we give people news in a way that they won't have anything bad to say about it? And the answer to that is deliver it in such a boring way that nobody consumes it. And then no one is upset about what you said because nobody bothered to watch it. It's like it's genius.
That's a meta.
Yeah,
that's a huge meta. Friend AR filters for socials.
Oh my god, that'd be terrifying. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Ryan got some nice ideas.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And my last question it's for me. Like, which guest should I invite next that you can make the intro?
Ooh, that's a good question. The founders?
Yeah, founders, content creators. Choice is yours.
I think PFO from SAC would be good company.
Nice.
That'd be a good conversation. Fenris from Trippin' Apes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, nice.
He's a good guy.
On my list.
Pardon me?
On my list for the next guest, that's where Trippin' Apes can be interesting.
Yeah.
Because
Fenris
know the inside of
talk to, and he's actually used to being, because he does like their podcasting, so he's used to being in conversation with people.
Wonderful. That's it. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion, and you for a future episode. Once the DeCod3rs are done, so you can see.
I'll get started. Yeah.
So see, like being out there, creating some content, and make like Paint Friend even more famous. That's what needs to be done to get the floor price going to 1,000 soul and becoming the first project. No pressure.
I don't want those problems, man. I don't want.
Let me animate.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's been fun.
No, thank you so much, man. Yeah, it was a great podcast. Like, you are an amazing guest. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Do you have anything to announce? Any alpha? Any last words you want to push out there?
No,
No.
I wish I did. We're really close on a couple of things that would be newsworthy, and it's just a little bit too soon to say. So watch the videos at no. Hinted at someone guessed one of them in the chat, and I'm not going to say which one it is, but just to keep people guessing, one of those things is somewhere buried in the chat.
Nice. That's cool. Okay, so chat, you need to reread the chat.
See, I'm driving engagement to your chat.
That's
good.
I'm trying. That's good. Nice. And like to get the alpha, you need to be subscribed to the channel too. So like, need to press the subscribe button. Also, like, I guess it's a lot of people from your community, but like, if you don't follow Max, follow Friends, follow Max account, which will be in the description after the live. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Max, for coming to this show. That was really, really great. And I will see you in the next video. See ya.
Thanks so much. See ya.